Greetings, audience. This video is going to be a little bit different from all my other videos, in case you're curious as to what my channel is about. Hi, I'm Tricoronicle. I make gaming videos. I make some funny moments, if you want to regard them as funny in air quotes. But as you can tell by the title and thumbnail of this video, there's a lot of different people retiring, and I thought that I would give my thoughts on everything that's going on, you know, the whole situation. Everyone just... all of your favorite creators. There's just MatPat, Tom Scott, Captain Sparkles, who's been here for such a long time, and you know, like recently I watched Stampy's final episode. Now, obviously, I couldn't watch through all 823 videos because, you know, it's just a really long series, but you know, this guy, Stampy, I've heard about him a lot. Like, you could not see this guy. Like there's just no way that if it is that you were on the old YouTube, like let's say like 5 years ago, 10 years ago or something like that, there's just no way that you would not see Stampy's name right next to like a Minecraft thumbnail or something. He was everywhere, man. He was big deal, and like the fact that this guy, you know, he just made his final episode like 2 months ago, that is just... watching the episode was just heartbreaking in itself. I mean, like, obviously, you know, he made an entire follow-up video, which I'll put on the screen just so you guys can go watch for yourself. But he put a follow-up video explaining why, and man, it's just like, I don't know. But what really did it for me was just, you know, watching MatPat's goodbye internet video and seeing him tear up. Just, I was like, man, don't tear up, because I'm gonna tear up, and I ended up tearing up a little bit. Obviously, I didn't, you know, I don't want to say anything like I don't want to over-exaggerate and say that I was bawling my eyes out or anything like that. But anyway, that's besides the point. The point being, you know, I've just had a lot of thoughts over the past few years about YouTube, and, you know, in case you haven't seen some of those thoughts, you know, I made a video about it last time where Susan Wojcicki, the former CEO of YouTube, stepped down. Obviously, that's why I called her former CEO of YouTube, but she stepped down. I gave some opinions on that, and I explained a little bit of the information there. The basic rundown of it is that she retired, but the new CEO that stepped in, we don't know what he's going to do. I mean, he's still... you know, he's only stepped down for like, what, a year or two, something like that? I don't know. I think it was just last year he literally became the new CEO. So we have yet to see what it is that he has to offer to the table. And the basic rundown of that video is just, I would highly recommend making another account on, say, another website like Rumble, or, you know, maybe even Twitch, if you can upload some of your videos there in the future. I'm not sure if you can upload them today in the first place, but if you can upload them to Twitch or Odyssey, wherever it is, your platform of choice, Vimeo, Dailymotion, wherever it is, please do so. Please re-upload your videos, not only just to YouTube, but upload them to other platforms with the same thumbnail, same format, everything. You know, if you have to make minor changes here and there, feel free to do so. But I'm just saying, that's just a rundown of that video, right? Now, for the past couple of years, there's been this sense of, this overwhelming feeling, or just sensation, that has been running over my mind. For those who aren't aware, I've been running this very YouTube channel that you're watching this video on for about 7 years, going into 8 now, because it's the year 2024. And, you know, for these past 7 years, I haven't exactly had a regular upload schedule. You know, like, my schedule has, if anything, been pretty irregular. Of course, there's been times when I would upload daily, but a lot of the videos that I used to upload got deleted. Well, I deleted them. It's not that YouTube deleted them, it's that I deleted them of my own accord. But basically, you know, I've been on the platform for about 7 years now, and I feel like I have every right to give my thoughts as a creator, especially because in a situation like this, where all of the people that I've been watching over the past few years. Now, admittedly, I haven't watched every single one of Stampy's videos. I've just, you know, kind of gave a glimpse at the lovely videos. I'm like, I think about 79 episodes in to his lovely world. So But then I watched the finale. I watched that video not too long ago, and it's just like watching that and the Q&A and just, you know, that coupled on top of MatPat's video, and then also just knowing that Captain Sparkles is leaving. I didn't watch Captain Sparkles' video, but you know, I'm assuming that it's for the same reason that all these other guys have. And it just made me wonder, you know, like, maybe it's not something that's just wrong with us. Like, obviously not, because, you know, we're just the creators of YouTube and all that sort of stuff. But I think it's for a reason that everybody's already familiar with, and I'm not going to go too in-depth with it. But long story short, YouTube's algorithm has sucked for many, many years. And I just don't know why is it that they haven't fixed it. Like, like, obviously there's no one-size-fits-all situation where, you know, they can just fix it overnight and then everything will magically go away. But I really do think that there needs to be some sort of change, because recently, after I watched the Goodbye Internet video, I took a look at this one video that showed up in my feed, and it's by Jacksepticeye's video editor. I can't remember his name right now at the top of my head, but I'll put it on the screen right now and probably link his channel in the description if I remember to. But basically, I watched that video, and I would urge others to watch it in full, because he explained everything better than I ever could. And he gave, like, this rundown of everything that has been going on, like the reason why MatPat really left. And obviously, you know, MatPat has been at it for many, many years now. You know, like, the guy deserves to retire. You know, I think that he deserves it. He deserves to live the life to his fullest. And I don't know, it's just that ever since I watched that video, I've just had this sudden motivation to make this, because I feel like, you know, like, I thought it was just me, that YouTube was just, you know, just going in a certain direction as it is I went throughout the years. Now, obviously, this channel has only existed for about 7 years now, but if you watch the last video, that is the exact one before this, with the Memories of One Piece Games on Roblox video, and you read the description, some people may not be aware of this, but I've actually had a YouTube channel ever since I was, like, what, 9 years old now? And, you know, 10 years later, hey, I'm 19 years old, and look at the state that everything's in. But what people don't know is that just because I made a channel in 2013 doesn't mean that I wasn't around earlier. I was actually on YouTube since the year before, or even 2 years before, actually. So that was around 2011, 2012-ish, since I was around, and that's when I was a kid. And, you know, I didn't really have internet back then. You know, I would visit my grandparents' house. That's the only place that we would get internet, or if it's not my grandparents' house, it would be at the cyber cafe. But now that we had internet ever since, like, 2011 and going forward, things have been, you know, that way. And I mean, it's not like it's anything that people don't know at this point. It's not news at this point. This is something that has been happening for many years, and, you know, like, to actually just see how the platform has just gone downhill, like the algorithm, you know, it's no longer about favoring independent creators. It's no longer about favoring fun videos. Now it's about favoring what's trending, what's colorful, what's vibrant, what is the latest, like, not just, you know, trends with regards to gaming, and, you know, like, you guys see the videos, right? I'm pretty sure that I don't really have to explain too much regarding that whole situation. But basically, if you head over to the trending tab of YouTube right now, like right this very second, you would see exactly what it is I'm talking about. Now, that's not to say that there aren't trending videos that, you know, aren't necessarily following the trend, in air quotes, but I don't know, like, it's just, why is it that YouTube is prioritizing videos that are following a particular trend rather than recommending videos that people actually want to see? What happens to those fun videos that you used to watch back in the day? And I think I figured out the problem too. Of course, you know, this is just adding on top of Jack's editor's video, but I think I figured out the problem, and obviously, you know, it's not like I work at YouTube. It's not like I, you know, obviously this is all hearsay. It's not like I know the entire situation that's going on internally there, but clearly there's something wrong. And again, you know, just adding on top of Jack's editor's point, there is obviously some sort of AI influence going on with the algorithm right now. And the AI is essentially, I would say, prioritizing or promoting videos that, you know, it's basically encouraging creators to just pump out videos on a regular basis with a particular trend. Otherwise, it's not going to recommend that video to you. And unless you look for that video, it's not like it's going to recommend more of that stuff to you, right? The way that YouTube works, or the way that modern YouTube has worked for many years now, is the more of that specific video that you watch, the more it's going to recommend videos that are like that for you. And I've noticed this myself, you know, like there were times when I would watch, you know, let's say like a Minecraft video, for example, and I just watch, let's say, 10 minutes of it, or 15 minutes, or 30 minutes of it, something like that. YouTube would just recommend a bunch of Minecraft videos on the side, obviously because Minecraft is a popular game and whatnot. I don't think it would recommend it if it wasn't popular, but it would start recommending it after it is that you watch a certain point, I think. But even if it is that you don't watch the entire video, I've noticed that they still recommend that content to you, right? And you know, I've been doing my best to try and control my watch history because of this, so I've been clearing whatever it is videos that I don't want to see. So if there's like a spoiler or something for, let's say, an anime that I'm watching or a movie that I'm watching, I would either go into incognito mode and I would watch the video there so that it doesn't capture my watch history, or I would watch it on my account and then just clear it immediately after. So that just goes to show that I still have some control over my privacy and over my data in general. And I would urge other people to do that as well if it is you already haven't, because most people that watch videos in general, like the general audience, don't really know, they're not tech savvy. They're maybe on the older side or maybe they're on the younger side, but they're not tech savvy, right? They're not tech experts in the field. So, but I've noticed this over the past few years, and it's just, it leads you into just this rabbit hole of just recommending you videos that you've already seen before. So if you've seen Minecraft videos before, more Minecraft videos. If you've seen Minecraft videos, Grand Theft Auto videos, maybe you've watched Gary's Mod, or anything like that. Maybe you watch commentary videos like Moist Critical, and, you know, other creators like him. They just keep recommending content like that to you, but they don't recommend content that is outside of that. Now, that's not to say that YouTube doesn't recommend content outside of that 100% of the time. Obviously, there are exceptions, but a lot of the stuff that YouTube has been doing for the past few years, you know, like, it's really beginning to piss me off, especially as a creator, because, like, of course, there are a few videos that would blow up, like this, you know, the one, I would say, what I would like to call a protest video with Minecraft 1.19.1, you know, I made that video whenever it is that they dropped that update, and everybody was just complaining about the chat reports feature, right? And, like, that video obviously blew up. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, the system doesn't work, but the fact that I had to follow the trend in order to even get that much of a response is just insane. Like, why do I have to follow the trend in order to get my videos out there, in order to promote my channel, rather than just making whatever it is that I want to make? And it's just, like, why do I have to follow trends rather than creating the trends? You know what I mean? Like, that's not to say that I can't create trends today. That's not to say that, you know, it's not possible. But I'm just saying, like, the fact that we have creators who we've known for such a long time, Stampy Longnose, Tom Scott, Captain Sparkles, I forgot the other guy's name, but you get the point, right? There's just an endless amount of creators that, you know, like, they still, don't get me wrong, they still make videos today, but even if we take the current generation out of the equation, right? Let's say we take PewDiePie, right? PewDiePie, for example, and Markiplier, and to some degree Jacksepticeye even, right? these guys have technically, I would say they've semi-retired, because you would notice that their upload schedule has changed. There's been a shift in the way that things are being done nowadays, and I don't know, it's just, like, obviously we knew that their upload schedule would just kind of be a little less frequent than before, because they've been at it for several years now, and I feel like things have quieted down. But once again, it's the way that YouTube is recommending people's videos. It's the kind of expectations that the algorithm wants from creators. And that's the thing that pisses me off the most, because, like, you're making creators do the work. You're setting high expectations that are unrealistic for creators to meet. And, you know, there's this one channel, Steven Vlog, right? I've been watching this guy for over 10 years now. Before him, I was watching someone else. I'll talk about him in a minute. I've been watching Steven Vlog for about 10 years now. And then he also has a gaming channel named Steven Plays. I'll put his channels up on the screen, and also probably in the description if I remember to put it. But basically, those were the first two channels that he had everything going on. And then shortly after that, you know, this whole fiasco with the pandemic and everything like that, then YouTube introduced Shorts, and TikTok started blowing up in popularity, and Instagram created Reels and so forth. And so, after that whole fiasco, this same guy created, you know, who's been making videos for about, you know, probably longer than 10 years now, actually. It's definitely been longer than 10 years. Like, he started being affected by these changes over the past few years, and he even mentioned that on one of his vlogs that, you know, like, and by the way, he's been making videos like every single day, I think, for about how many years now. I would highly recommend checking his channel out, because, like, his content, I don't know, like, I would highly recommend checking it out. Just however it is you feel about it, I personally recommend checking it out, so just go and watch it. But basically, he's been making videos for that length of time, and despite making these videos, and despite them being of a superb, you know, I don't know what quality to call them, but superb quality of videos that he's just been making every single day, right? And it's started, like, the algorithm started suddenly affecting him whenever it is that he made these videos. And so eventually he had to get into contact with a representative over at YouTube and say, hey, you know, like, what's going on? You know, like, I'm not really getting as much traction as I used to. And then basically the person over at YouTube told him that, you know, what you should probably do is just create new channels, which is exactly what he did. And basically, there's, I think it's, I'm not sure if the name of it is Steven VOD or Steven Plays VOD or something like that, something along those lines. But he created a VOD channel because he has, you know, whenever he streams over at Twitch, breakfast stream, there was a point where he made a Skyrim stream, you know, like, he had an entire Skyrim Let's Play, which I would highly recommend you guys check out. He also had Fallout 4. These are some of the longest Let's Plays that he did with Bethesda's games, and I really enjoy them. Of course, they're not for every audience. They're more for an older audience or a particular audience who are into that sort of content. So if you're into that sort of stuff, highly recommend checking it out. You'll probably have a good time. I've never seen, you know, anybody just put in the level of effort that this guy has put in and just still never get the response that he deserves. So I feel like I have to put out this video. Check out his content, if you will. But he made a Steven VOD channel, right, which is a YouTube channel that, you know, basically archives all of his Twitch streams and whatnot. And then he also made a Steven Plays Shorts channel, which basically, let's just say that hasn't really kicked off. And I think that was kind of an experiment to see if it is that he would get a little more reach, and it did. Don't get me wrong, it got a little more reach, but the last time that I checked out that channel, there weren't any videos uploaded to it, and that poses an underlying problem with YouTube Shorts. There's obviously something that is wrong with the fact that, you know, like, the fact that you can create shorts and they're not popular enough that's just wow. Like that just goes to show that there's an obvious problem with shorts as well. Obviously, I don't think it really needs to be stated publicly about what my opinions on TikTok are. I mean, I think that my opinions in general with TikTok, the general consensus with that social media, it seems to be that, you know, like people use TikTok, but it's not that they like TikTok. Technically, it's supposed to be Vine's successor in a way, because Vine shut down how many years ago right now, and I never really had the chance to use it, so I can't give my opinion on Vine. But it's supposed to be Vine's successor, and there are just so many things wrong with it. First of all, the narrator voice just annoys me. The spammy subtitles, the trend that's going on there, really absolutely annoys me. It just gets on my nerves every time I see it, and it's like, bro, stop spamming the subtitles, please. Okay, my eyes hurt. All right, I can already hear you. Okay, and I know that, you know, for accessibility reasons there are subtitles, but whenever it is that you keep throwing the words in front of my eyes every split second, like, can you just like give me a break, man? Give my eyes a break. I already have enough to see for the day, you know. So there's just way too much going on over the past few years, and you know, it's not like this is anything new, but I feel like I had to say something because it's just ridiculous. Like, I've been uploading videos seriously for however many years now, you know, like it's been a dream come true for me to just be able to make videos, the videos that I want to make. And you know, the guy that started all of this was a channel that not many people know about, but also a lot of people know about him, but not nearly enough as I think that he deserves. Sugar Conroy. This guy makes a lot of Nintendo videos, and I started off with Super Mario 64 DS, and then I moved on to, I think it was the Runaway guys with New Super Mario Brothers Wii and Wii U, I think. And I never really watched the entire playlist because, you know, like my interest shifted over the years, and then I got into Stephen Plays, and then, you know, then I heard about Markiplier and PewDiePie and all these different people. I mean, I heard about PewDiePie early then, and I still watch one of his videos occasionally, not all the time. I haven't seen, you know, all of the videos, but I do watch some of his stuff, and you know, like it's just insane how these creators, you know, even big creators like PewDiePie, had to make a highlights channel. I'm not sure if Markiplier has one yet, but he probably has one somewhere out there. Moist Critical, who is also a prominent streamer on Twitch, you know, also one of the most popular commentators out there that I'm sure most people that are watching this video probably heard of at least once. Even he had to make a separate channel that, you know, like, I think it's like Huge Charles or Moist Critical Clips or something like that. Basically, he had to make multiple channels for this. And it's just ridiculous how it is that, you know, you have to create another channel just because, you know, not enough people are watching the videos on this one channel. And it's like, why are you making creators do this when in the past you said that you shouldn't do something like this? Why make it so that you have to make multiple channels and then you have to basically like stick to a very like strict frequent schedule of just uploading videos of that quality to that channel? Otherwise people aren't going to watch it. Like, that is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous how, like, I can't really put my frustration into words, okay? Like, it's hard for me to express things, but it's just insane. It's ridiculous, and it's stupid that an AI gets to make the decision for humans. So my message to YouTube is this, okay? And I have a feeling, I have a sneaky suspicion that this is why many of these beloved creators are leaving this platform. We need to have an algorithm that is either revised or recreated or something like that, and we need a bit of a human touch to it. We should not have the AI deciding what it is content that we should watch. We should have, you know, like, obviously I think that the AI should get to make some decisions, yes, you know, otherwise, you know, if everything was manually done, well, then humans would be overworked, and I think that that's obviously a bad thing. But there obviously needs to be, like, say, more independent creators that are being recommended to you on the homepage. There needs to be more creators that are recommended to you that are independent on the side page, the side page wherever you watch a video and there's like a right side of it, like that sort of thing. I'm not sure what you call it, but I'm just going to call it the side page, or the side, whatever, like the suggested video section. So there needs to be a human touch to this, and I just don't know. Like, obviously, I can't solve all of the problems. I don't know what's going on there. YouTube, Google is a technology company. They would probably figure out this sort of stuff. But the fact that they prioritize corporations more than independent creators, and obviously because, the big corporations there's an older audience that watches these, talk shows and, television series and things like that. And these are the same people that aren't really aware of the problems that are going on at YouTube. So it's like, it's kind of hard to really just try and, convince, I think, what a platform with over 2 billion people, I believe. I'm not sure. It might be higher, it might be less than that. But a platform with over 1 billion people, it's hard to try and get the message out there. But I feel like I have to make this video. The least that you can do is share with other people and, try to get it out there through word of mouth, obviously, and, things like that. Encouraging your friends, family, everyone to watch this video. But obviously, it's not like I can do anything by myself, right? I'm just a small creator making, little videos here and there. And I'm not trying to compare my efforts to the efforts of other people. I'm pretty lazy myself. So, but anyway, this has dragged on for way too long, so I'll try and end it off here. But I just feel like I needed to end, I feel like I needed to put everything into words. Like I needed to put everything into this video because, like, it's just way too much. And, I've noticed this as a creator, I keep uploading stuff. I ended up having, like, a few of my videos get taken out for copyright reasons because I thought that I could use the soundtrack. And, like, they blocked the video entirely. I think it's Sony that blocks the video entirely. And I ended up having to make Redux videos, right? And, they're obviously not going to be anything near the original because, it's a Redux. And, it's just, it's stressful. Like, it's basically added on to Jack's point. Like, copyright and, like the AI just deciding what's appropriate for the platform and what's not, even though this is a 13+ platform, okay? It's a 13+ platform. Why would you let AI get to make these decisions? Obviously, I think that content that shouldn't be allowed, like, like inappropriate content, right? NSFW and stuff like that. Obviously, I think that should not be allowed. But the fact that an AI gets to make the decision for you, the fact that, like, you can't even upload certain music, and I get that, the law exists for a reason, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not complaining about the law existing, it exists to protect certain artists and whatnot, but it also exists to protect corporations, and that's, like, the thing that really pisses me off, is I really feel like, there needs to be some sort of solution where we can protect the artists, but we are not protecting the corporations, because, is this really what the artists want? Don't they want their work to be used in other people's stuff? Like, obviously they want to be able to have their music promoted. Obviously, if it is that you don't find a way to promote that music in the first place, then I just simply don't know how it is that they're going to get any other reach, because the only way that their music and their work and their art is going to get any sort of reach or any sort of traction is if normal people promote it, is if we do it through word of mouth. And what YouTube has been doing for many years now, and it's not just YouTube, it's happening everywhere. It's happening on Facebook, it's happening on Instagram. There's been times where I try to upload stories with music in it, and it would just copyright it. It just wouldn't allow me to show the videos to either different parts of the world or just to anyone at all. And it's ridiculous how AI is just taking over and getting to make the decisions for people like that. Obviously, it's in place so that, if it detects something that someone else is making, it'll protect the creators, and, therefore they'll start making their money. But when you block things entirely, That is the problem. That is the major underlying issue with copyright. And like, it's just, obviously there's a whole slew of other problems that I probably can't get, at the top of my head right now. I just can't remember a lot of those issues. But again, there are still many things that are problematic with it. Yeah, it's just ridiculous how, like, all of this is happening. And again, I wanted to have an outlet to express my opinions here, so I'm also going to upload this video to Rumble. If you guys want to watch it, you can go to my Rumble page. I'll link it in the description. It's already on my channel as well, so if you want to know where it is. But there's a lot of people who don't really know about that. I have a Rumble channel. It's a channel where I re-upload every single thing on my YouTube channel. I put it on that website, and like, it's basically like a, if anything happens to my YouTube channel sort of situation, I've got a Rumble channel, and I can always just take the stuff from the Rumble channel, put it up back on YouTube, like maybe make a separate channel and then just re-upload it just in case anything happens. But yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to express everything. There's one more thing that I want to mention, and that's the fact that a lot of these creators are young people. Like, these are people that are in their 20s, these are people that are in their 30s, these are people that are in their 40s. And the fact that, they're retiring at such a young age. I mean, don't get me wrong, they probably have like millions of dollars. They're well off, okay? They're essentially well off. So they can retire at a young age and have their time off. Obviously they deserve it. They've been hard at work for however many years now, if not decades. But I mean, it's only been like, like a decade or something like that YouTube has been on the rise. But basically, they're well off, and I think that they do deserve their retirement. But these are young people that are getting burnt out by the algorithm and by the whole copyright law issue and everything's like that. Obviously, what needs to change first is legislation, like the actual law itself, in order to stop YouTube from doing things like this. Because, like the whole Steamboat Willie situation where Disney's first Mickey Mouse, I think, animation or short movie or something like that, basically that just entered the public domain and now everyone can use it. But YouTube is still apparently copywriting people. I haven't seen that video yet, so don't crucify me in the comment section yet. But basically, the whole situation is just ridiculous, and I feel like I needed to give a 100% straight opinion. I might have to cut out some parts because I tend to stutter a lot, and I apologize for that, by the way. But it's just that I was honestly contemplating making a script for this, but also, like, I'm just too lazy, so just bear with me, okay? You're getting this from the heart, right? You're just getting it as it is. But anyway, I feel like I need to explain that. But essentially, going back to whatever it is I was saying, this guy, like, or these people are in their 30s. They're in their 30s, early 30s, or late 30s, maybe their early 40s and whatnot. Felix is like, I think he's approaching his 40s at this point, and I think Mark is also like in his mid 30s or early 30s or something along those lines. So I don't know. I would not be surprised if Mark decides, this year, I'm going to retire, or Jack says this year I'm going to retire. And it's even affecting people like Asmongold, who is literally one of the world's, or literally Twitch's, I think, most popular streamer at this point, or maybe at some points. And it's like, the fact that he has to make like 3 channels. I think it's like Asmongold TV, Asmongold Clips, Asmongold Gaming, or something like that. And the fact that he has to make multiple channels just to even promote his content, and he has editors working on it. It's not like he's doing the editing himself. But on top of that, creators have to create businesses, and it's just ridiculous. Like, they have to create their own business. So Asmon has, well, obviously it's not, I don't think it's just Asmon's company. I think it's like different people that own the company. But it's Starforge PCs or something like that, Starforge Systems, something like that. I think Mark is doing, Markiplier has a cloak brand, that's a business, that's a clothing line. Jacksepticeye has like a coffee brand or something like that. So the fact that creators have to create, they have to form their own businesses anyway, because the ad revenue that YouTube is giving them, and the fact that it's hard to even promote their content in the first place, because I would say they're in the range of like 30 million subscribers as of this point, right? Obviously, that figure is going to rise as it is that, YouTube promotes their channel more and more, but it's not rising, like it's not gaining traction like it used to. And, there's, obviously PewDiePie's channel is like, I think over 100 million subscribers at this point, so I think it's like 111 or something like that. But Mr. Beast has been going really strong in terms of subscribers. Like he basically surpassed PewDiePie at this point, and it's really sad. Obviously, I'm happy for Mr. Beast because he was like one of the few independent creators who actually made a name for himself. Like I get that he has a business and everything, and he has a whole line of operations running, but like a whole band of operations running. But basically, it's just that the fact that a creator or just independent creators at all, right, like myself, have to go through this. And even I was considering starting my own business. I don't know if I'll do that yet. There were times I was considering creating a separate channel so that I can just promote my channel and stuff. But honestly, and I think that, for people who have been watching me faithfully for the past few years, if there are any at all, right? And thank you so much for sticking around with me. If you have, because like, again, my channel is not particularly popular. I'm basically a nobody, right? So like my opinion doesn't really matter in the long scheme of things. But basically, it's like the fact that it's just that like the fact that I was even considering making a separate channel or separate channels just to even promote my content, that is just ridiculous at all. Because back then, that wasn't the case. You didn't need to make a separate channel. Now you have to make multiple channels. And because you have to make multiple channels, now that also means that you have to manage those channels or get people to manage it. And it's like, wow, like what happened to YouTube, man? What happened to YouTube being about fun, And that's not to say that there aren't people that aren't keeping that spirit alive today. But a lot of what the kids are into are TikToks, which are over-edited, in my personal opinion. They're into TikToks, which, also shorten the attention span gradually the more that you watch it. And, when you think that you've watched a really long video or something like that, it's really just a long list of just short videos that you've been watching for the past 30 minutes or something like that before you know it. I don't know how bad it is. Maybe it's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't know how much time that kids spend on that app today. But the fact that that's what people, nowadays spend their time on, and, rather than watching one video that's 30 minutes long or an hour long, you spend an hour watching short videos. That is just ridiculous. That is the most ridiculous form of, I don't even know what to say about that. But anyway, the video is kind of dragging on a little too long, so I'll try and end it off here. But I'm gonna have to edit this myself, which again is another problem. As a small creator myself, I don't have finances to hire an editor or anything like that. I don't have my own business. I don't really have any backing and so on. So I have to edit every single video. Yes, even the most popular ones that you see on my channel, I have to edit those. I have to by myself. I don't have anyone doing it. And it takes up so much time to just edit it. It takes up so much time, especially on a low-end PC like this. I have to use a really crappy editor. I think it's like OpenShot, but if it's a low end, it's a really good editor, but it's not the best editor in my opinion. But it's free, so I'm using it because I can't afford Adobe Photoshop because I don't have a credit card. I'm just starting out in the world. I'm a young person, so just bear with me, okay? It's gonna take a while before we get anything kicking off here, but basically it's just like it's just way too much going on, man. It's just. Anyway, yeah, so it takes such a long time to just render the videos and edit everything, so I appreciate your support for sticking around, like if you've discovered my channel on a random note at all, and, like recommending my content or even talking about it is more than enough for me. So if you can spread the channel or spread this video through word of mouth or through text messaging, whatever it is that you have to, if you have to mention it to a friend, please do, and thank you so much. And with that being said, you know, like the fact that we have independent creators that are just retiring at such a young age, and then we have other people like Stan Lee, who, you know, obviously he's passed away. He's one of Marvel's greatest, one of Marvel's pioneer comic book writers. You know, he was already retired, but he still kept going, man. He still kept making cameos to the very end of, I think it's either Phase 3 or Phase 4 of the MCU. He kept making cameos, man. He just kept them coming till the very end. And, you know, despite his age, he still kept up with it. And it's just, it breaks my heart that we can have people like Stan Lee do that. It breaks my heart that Michael Jackson, one of, if not the world's greatest artist, the king of pop. You know, I started listening to more of his music, including his Invincible album, which is a little underrated. Obviously, that was purposely under-promoted so that it wouldn't make sales, because there was a whole, you know, feud between him and Sony at that point in time, but I'm not going to go into that. You can go ahead and look into that by yourself if you want to. But basically, there's just been, you know, like the fact that Michael Jackson was like 50 years old and still going strong up until his death. Stan Lee, you know, he wasn't writing comics anymore. He was effectively retired at a certain point in time. But, you know, I'm sure if it is that if he could have kept on going, I'm sure he would have wanted to, right? And, you know, you could see that through the spirit of the movies. He just made, like, even if it's a few seconds or a minute or something like that, he just made a brief appearance, and he didn't get paid for it at all. You know, I'm sure that there's a lot of older folks out there. I think Bob Ross is a prime example. Some people may know him, some people might not. Prominent artists, you know. Kentaro Miura was like 50 years old when it is that he passed away. All of a sudden, he's basically Berserk's creator. Amazing series. Highly recommend you check it out. It's a manga book, so if you're into that sort of stuff. And it's not for the faint of heart, but, you know, like, if it is that you're able to handle that sort of thing, I would highly urge you to check it out. So, anyway, man, I just, there's just way too many things on my mind, you know, like, they're promoting trends. Just to give a rundown of this video, it's just, YouTube has been promoting trends, they've been promoting corporations, and obviously this is all for ad revenue, and it's the most popular thing tends to make it to the top of the recommended list, rather than, you know, the top, like, rather than stuff that people actually want to see, which is more, you know, just lighthearted videos. That you're not really seeing more lighthearted videos, you're not seeing more stuff like that. Obviously, there are exceptions. I'm not saying that this is 100% the case, but the AI is making the decisions for people, not humans, okay? And everything is just getting automated, not just on YouTube. It's happening on Instagram. It's happening on Facebook. It's happening on, I think, Twitter even. You know, I'm not going to call it X. I refuse to call that platform X. It's happening on Twitter. I'm sure that Reddit is eventually going to follow suit, and I'm sure that Steam is also going to follow suit. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad thing that AI is taking over some of these operations, but I think it's a bad idea to have AI run every single thing, right? I think it's a bad idea to let them run copyright issues, especially. I think it's a bad idea to let them run, you know, like, what types of videos are being shown to people, especially, and whether that video can be uploaded or not. I really urge YouTube, especially, and all these other companies, all these big tech companies, please stop automating everything, for the love of God, okay? And stop, please, just, whatever it is that, you know, the whole short videos trend thing, man, I just hope it dies out. Like, please. Anyway, if you stuck with me to the end of this video, thank you so much. I don't know if I can get my entire opinion in there, but thank you so much for sticking with me. Again, I don't intend to make this a short video, but I'll try to cut down some parts. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you for hearing me out. Please spread the word about this. This is just, like, this is a serious issue, and if anything, I mean, if we have to boycott YouTube in some way, obviously I don't think that that's ever going to happen. It's like over 1 billion people in order to have any significant effect, like 1 million creators or something like that are big would probably have to leave the platform or something like that for like a limited time, and then maybe they'll change their opinion. But if they don't, then I don't know. And also, by the way, for anyone watching this video, if you are a big creator and you have to, you know, contribute to this protest, what I will say is, please, 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 please do not do like the Reddit protests from last year and tell them whenever it is that you're coming back from strike. Do not do that. That is a mistake, okay? What you should do is say that you're going away for an indefinite amount of time. Don't tell them how long, because then if you make it easy for them to predict, the companies will not take any action. So please, if it is whatever you do, just spread the message. Try to get people on board as soon as possible, okay? And even if it means sharing this video, you know, even if the person doesn't have to watch the entire video, because I understand that not everybody wants negative perception of everything. And, you know, obviously I'm going to keep making videos, but, you know, again, as I said before, if I have to jump ship, I will. Because, again, I'm re-uploading everything to Rumble. Go and check out the Rumble channel. I'll put the link in the description. That being said, thank you so much for sticking with me throughout this entire video. Now I have to go and edit this entire thing. But anyway, thank you so much. And I'll see you later.